Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to start our playthrough of A Glorious Chance, the naval struggle for Lake Ontario in the War of 1812. This is from Legion Wargames and designed by Gina Willis. Alright, I'm going to play the American solo. I think that's a good place as any to start. And I'm going to show you, this is a lot of board I got to cover here. I'll do my best I can while we're playing. But we got board all the way over here, and I got charts over here. So we'll just we'll see how we do, and hopefully I won't mess it up too bad. This is, for me, is going to be a little bit of play and learn. I've read the rules and watched a couple videos, so we're going to give it a try. Going to play it the way I think I ought to play it. Not exactly following through everything. But yeah, we'll see how it works out, and then we'll give it a go, right? And you guys, as usual, I'm sure are following along, and you'll give me corrections as we go. So I do have the setup done already, and the setup I'll show you comes from. There is a there's a play US solo setup, and you just follow this and it tells you where to put everything and tells you which counters you need, which was nice to get all those out, where you put ships and flagships and all that stuff. So we get that out, and so of course the lake so far really doesn't have anything on the lake yet. That'll happen during the gameplay. But up here on the top, way up here, we have the British on the top, the U.S. on the bottom. The U.S. has three markers when I rolled. One of them was in turn one, so he became active. So he's available, I should say. And then the British have theirs, and when it comes time, we'll flip and see if they have any available. So we don't know when they're going to be available yet. I chose on my setup to go ahead and put my June convoy on for June 1st. And then the British will flip when it comes time for them to see if they're going to have a convoy or not in June. All right. And then this is the victory point, and this is naval balance here. We have our event cards here, and over here are the attacker tactics and defender tactics, late combat sequence of play, and then of course up here are the to American home port and the British home port. Okay, and I do have way over here my target deck, which it says to shuffle. It tells me when to shuffle. Along this bottom, which I know I'd be surprised. Maybe you will. On my little screen, I couldn't read it from the camera, but I know sometimes when I get this on the TV, then I can see it. But all along the bottom, it has a sequence of play right here. So we'll be following along here, getting our feet wet here, and see how this goes. I'll refer to the rules as I need to, but I'll pause the video when I do that, so it's not a bunch of dead time on the video, and we'll be ready to go. So I do know that I believe it is the Madison is my flagship here. So I'll mark him with the flag. And the Wolf is their British flagship. I'll mark him with the flag. Notice on the British ship they have an A. That means they have not been improved yet, but during the game you check to see if they go to a B, they're a little bit better ships. I hope they don't make improvements, but it can happen. All right, so we'll get ready to start here, and we'll get going. Okay, so the first thing we do right down here is the prep phase. Schedule the convoy. I did mine. New ships ready, so we don't have anything to do there yet. No repairs, nobody, no ordinary, no naval construction. The naval balance is still neutral. Assign U.S. ships. So now is when I decide what patrols I'm going to do, what missions. So I'm going to place those out. and then I'll show you what I decided on. Okay, so placed them. I put the growler on patrol. Oh, I gotta mark them patrols. I have 3 patrols. I put them out there and didn't mark them. Patrol. And the Lady of the Lake in the North Lake. I did that because there could be a convoy and I want to see if it shows up. I don't know if it's going to show up or not, the British. And a patrol here for Lady of the Lake. And then I put a patrol here where in Sackett's Harbor with Julia and Raven. And then the Hamilton and the Scourge are doing escort duty for my convoy. And I have a raid up here with Asp, Ontario, and Pert. So a little bit like the example in the game, but we'll see how this works. You know, I'm trying to figure out. I was thinking, man, I'd like to do 2 raids, but may not be able to just yet. Trying to accelerate some supplies here. Okay, next thing we do is AI troops available. So we check. We flip this over, and it says no, they are not available. So that's a discard to that counter. All right, so we're done with that one. Okay, so no AI troops yet. That's good for me. I chose not to transport my troops yet because on turn 2, I have another set of troops, and then I'm going to try to transport both of them at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. All right, next up. Okay, all troops. Adjust and shuffle target cards. Well, it says adjust because you could have less or more. We don't, so we got to shuffle up the target cards. So I'm going to give them a little hand shuffle here, but I'm going to run them through my automatic shuffler, and then we'll get them ready to lay out. Okay, so here's the shuffle, and then we're going to cut them right here. All right, this is it. So then we take, it is 8 cards. So we lay 8 cards out. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Took up more space than I thought. I have to readjust. 8. Let me drop these down. I'm trying to get where I'm not over all the terminology and stuff, but it didn't work out real good. All right. Now I have to mark items on the map where encounters might be. So when you look at this target card, this is where a possible encounter could be, but we don't have any ships there, so that'll be a no encounter. Okay, South Lake has an encounter. Sackett's has an encounter. Sackett has 2 encounters. North Lake has an encounter. Niagara does not. I'll take that off. Sackett's has another one, and North Lake has another one. So we're going to have possible encounters there. We got 2 that are not encounters for sure. So now I can redistribute these back up here so I can read what's going on. Okay, so I have to mark my possible encounters. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. 4, 5, 6. Okay. So my first encounter is here on South Lake. So he gets an encounter marker. Second one is up here. That's my raid. He gets encounter number 2. Nope, sorry. That's my Sackett's Harbor. He gets encounter number 2. My convoy gets encounter number 3. North Lake gets encounter number 4. Back over to Sackett, so I'll put that on my patrol as encounter number 5. And then North Lake gets encounter number 6. So my raid did not get checked, so he's going to happen. All right. Well, that's a good thing. Okay. Now we do encounter checks. So I'm going to shuffle my event cards here real quick. I've done the big shuffle, but we'll shuffle them up right now. Okay. So we draw for possible encounter number 1, we draw an event card. And what we're looking for is not that. So there is an encounter, possible encounter marker, and conduct an encounter cycle, 26 pages 26 to 40. Repeat for each possible encounter. So we have an encounter. So we have to reveal our target card that showed that, and the troops available for the British is 0, so there's an encounter, and this is here. So now we have an encounter. So this is going to change from a possible encounter to encounter. Okay, move all deployable ships to that home port. So they have 5 ships. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we take all 5 of the British ships right here to the lake zone where the encounter is taking place. So we're going to put them right here on this side with the encounter in between them. All right. Make an upgrade check for any deploying A version British ships. So we know the Wolf is an A. The Earl of Moira is an A. The Royal George, well, there's 4 of them are A's. The Sir Sidney Smith is a schooner, is not an A, so he stays there. So I got to do an upgrade check for each one of those. So let me look that. Let me see. I probably got a card or something for that. So let me see what happens there. Okay, here's how this works. We take their B versions. So there's 4 of them. 2, 3, 4. We drop them in the cup. We take these 4 guys. We drop them in the cup. And we're going to draw. And if we draw, let's shuffle these up real good. If we draw their A version, then that's what they get to stay with. If we draw their B version, it's an upgrade, and the A version leaves the game. Comes the first one. Is the Wasp, or the Wolf, and it is the A version. So he stays. He's their flagship. All right, next one is, the Royal George, and he's upgraded. He's now their B version. So when I pull that out, that one will come off of there. This is the, oh man, the Lord Beresford hits the B. Come on. Here's the Wasp. It goes back in the out of play cards portion. Here's the Royal George. That one's comes off the game. Here's the Earl of Moira. He's still an A. So 2 of them got upgraded and 1 of them didn't. And 2 of them didn't. Okay. These are the Beresford, and the Moira goes back up here because he could get chosen later. And these 2 come out of the game completely. Okay. Well, they got a couple upgrades on me. Not exactly what I wanted to see, but that's what happened. Okay, now the mission. Note the mission of the British force shown on the revealed target card. Oh, it was a raid. Okay. If the mission is army support, place available air troops. Okay. If no British ships deploy, go back to step B2. Draw an event card. Place it here and reveal it. Lake zone event check. Okay. So here we go. 1 card. And this is sickness. Bilious fever, dysentery, and chills are ravaging the U.S. Navy on the Great Lakes and leaving its ships undermanned. Reduce the close action strength of every U.S. ship deployed to this lake zone by 1. point this turn. 2 points for the General Pike, which is not in play yet. Also, increase the U.S. construction delay value by 1. Well, that sucked. Okay, so I have construction delay. That is up here on the board, and it was at 0 construction delay, so I now move it into 1. Okay, so I have a delay now on my construction. Well, that wasn't what I wanted, I can tell you that. And I have sickness, which is going to reduce this. Weather gauge, check the flag in the middle. Haha, the U.S. has the weather gauge. That's good. Pass, attack in late combat, or pass to end the segment. We are definitely going to pass to end this segment. If the patrol segment ends and the sides are still engaged, make reaction checks for possible reinforcements. American reaction checks, British reaction checks. Okay, so I just need to take a look at that and make sure I do that portion of it right here, because I'm a fast ship and I think I know I automatically pass, but can I disengage? I'm not sure. So let me check that out. Okay, so we're in the reaction segment now. Okay, so I get first choice here, and I could bring other ships on patrol, except they may have a possible encounter and I can't move them. And for this, I'm not going to bring my ships out of the home port. So I'm going to leave them where they're at. So we are not going to, I'm not going to reinforce this. So now we go back into the encounter again. So we do more late combat. The original ships in the encounter plus any reinforcing ships conduct lake combat steps. 1.2 lake zone. So we draw the event card, place it here and reveal it. Lake zone event check. So we see construction delay. The pace of work has slackened at the British shipyard, increased the British construction delay by 1. Theirs goes up by 1. Okay. And now we check for the, and we use that weather gauge. And it's the U.S., which means, because I have a fast ship, we are going to pass again, and that ends that phase. Okay. So if I pass the second time, okay, hang on just a minute. Okay, so this encounter ended. We flip this over, and normally this is a misprint, an errata. It would say encounter ended, but we know that it's over there. Now we go to encounter number 2. So we go back through this, we come to our patrol over here, and we're going to start all over again. We put our event cards down here. Oh, and for that second segment, it was not, all I was doing was doing the weather gauge, so their construction did not delay. That's the way I read that when I pull for the reaction segment, you're just checking the weather gauge. Okay, so it doesn't change what already happened there. So we'll put them on the bottom, face up, so I know when to shuffle them if I don't shuffle them before that. Okay, so now we come back, we go, this one's done. I can, I'll set it off to the side here a little bit, up top, and get back to it. Now we go right over here, and this is possible encounter number 2. The nice thing is their ship's all deployed, so we'll see what happens here. We go using the chart on the card. So we have to reveal a target card that caused this encounter. It's a cutting out mission, and there are 0 here. So there is no encounter. So possible encounter number 2. We flip it over. That one's done. Now we go possible encounter number 3. This is my escort mission. We flip this over. It's a patrol. There's no Nobody to come down here again. So really, all of these, there's nothing that's going to happen. Again, that would be no ships. Okay, so same thing here. Patrol 3's over. Patrol 4 is going to be a patrol, but there's no ships to deploy. So we know 4, 5, and 6. None of them are going to be encounters. So all of those come off the board. All right, so we finished that. We go to the enemy ops phase. Follow steps C1 and C2 to see if there will be an in-operations phase this turn. All right, so I got to look that up, make sure I'm following that right for the enemy operations phase. Okay, so just to kind of correct a little bit of what I did. When we place these 8 cards, they all stay on the board until we're done. All we're doing is revealing here. But once they deployed all their ships, once he deployed his ships, then he has nothing else left to deploy, which does get rid of all the other encounters. And because he has no other ships, then we conduct enemy operations. Well, there aren't any there to conduct here. So place all the remaining lake zone matching the target card, mark the force. We did that. So we would have, if they didn't have my ships in them, excuse me, we would have revealed their targets, like here. These 2 were the 2 zones I didn't have any ships in. So these 2, he would have checked for patrol and an army support. But they didn't have that. So what it says is, check the number of deployable British ships remaining in their home port display. If there are no ships, return all target cards to the deck. Skip the enemy operations phase and proceed to the breakout attacks phase. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take all these cards and scoop them up. And looks like we return them to that deck because we'll reshuffle them, but I'm going to set them to the side just to make sure. And then we go to breakout attacks. Ships that are in a home port under a blockade marker may attempt to break out. Well, we don't have any blockades. If the British launch a breakout, let's see, coastal action phase, British cutting out missions, in the lake zone outside the American home port, so we don't have that. British raids, coastal event, if the targeted coastline, well, we don't have a British raid because they didn't have any ships to send out. No British Army support missions. Okay, no harbor encounters. No U.S. cutting out missions, so that brings us to U.S. raids. So we're in coastal action. Raids. For each raid, maximum 1 per lake zone per turn. Draw for a coastal event. Place it here and apply it. Okay, so here we go. Coastal event. Minor damage. If a British ship suffers a hit, roll 1d10. Nope. So nothing happened there. Then place the raid marker on the targeted coastline. So we take our raid marker and we put it here on the board. So we're up here. We're going to put our raid marker there. All right. Army support missions. I don't have any. All right. Tally and reset the phase. Okay. So that's good because I get my victory points here. Okay, so there are no destroyed, captured ships. So we're over here. We go contested lake zones. I don't have enough. 1, 2, 4, 5. I might have enough in this zone to make this my zone. I think I have to have 5 long guns. Mark controlled lake zones. Okay, page 17. The two sides remaining naval strength in the lake zone determines which side controls it in this step. A lake zone status may remain unchanged, flip to the opposite side's control, or be contested, and under neither side's control. Once placed, a lake control marker remains in the lake zone from turn to turn until the zone becomes contested. Okay. Moving, let's see. Has to have at least 5 steps of full strength warships. Ooh, 5 steps. Okay, let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have enough. Yep, I don't have enough steps. I have 4 steps, so I couldn't get control. He's not uncontested there, so he doesn't get control. Okay. Wow, if I'd have had the Lady of the Lake over here, I would have had enough. So I got to pay attention to that next time. I could have got control of Sackett's over there. Okay. No blockades that I have to do about. No victory point gain. Now, land battles, untransported troops. I do have that. So up here I lose 1 victory point because of that. All right. Raid VPs. Okay, so here I conducted a raid. I'm going to get 2 victory points. So I'm going to go ahead and move my victory points. 1, 2. Now I'm a +1. And I get a die roll of 5 or 6. So I'll roll the blue die. Get my little die roller. And I get 5. Yes. Okay. A 5 or 6 +1 U.S. convoy supply -1 British convoy supply. All right. So up here, my convoy supply goes +1. I'm up to 2 now. And the British convoy supply drops to 0. All right. Nice. Like that. Okay. Adjust my convoy supply tracks. I just did that. Oh, I have my convoy delivers. So what do I get for that? I get something for that too. So convoy supply track. Let me look that up. Page 18. Okay. In a turn, when a side has a convoy scheduled to run, the marker on its convoy supply check automatically advances 2 spaces to the right, unless something bad happened. So now it goes 2 more. 1, 2. So that gets me here. Move the General Pike in step A5 from construction to make ready if construction delay equals 0. Well, it doesn't, because I got that delay from all that sickness. Okay. Nice. Raid VPs. Each raid marker on the Kingston Lake Zone scores 2 victory points for the Americans. Each raid marker on the Sackett's Lake Zone coastline scores -2 for the British. South -1 for the... Okay. All right. U.S. convoys. I did that. All right. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Reset and turn advance. Full strength ships go back to home port. So the British ships all go back to home port. My ships all come back to home port. Right there. So they're all back in secondary ships. They're ready to go. All of these guys I can take off of here. So I'll clean up my board. Okay, last thing I forgot to do here in F5, adjust convoy supply tracks. Well, I didn't check for the British convoy, so we checked June convoy. So is there a convoy? There is. Okay, and because I didn't do anything to him, that convoy, it moves his up 2 spaces, so he goes 1, 2. Okay, so I can remove those. And we know there's no June convoy because there's only 1 convoy a month. So we can take all of those off. We move our game turn up to June 11th. Okay, and we're ready to roll. I'd like to go ahead and play all of June. We'll try to make this game in 4 videos here. They may be a little bit longer, but I think we can do it. I reshuffled the event deck, and so you see, and I added my target cards back to the deck, but I have not shuffled it yet. Okay, so here we go again. Now we're back over here to the schedule convoy. Nope. New ships ready. Ships in make ready go to deployable. Naval construction must be 0 for a new ship to move to make ready. Well, I could have because I got enough supplies, but I can't get him there. So, but what happens is the delay marker reduces by 1 for both of us. Well, he had 0. Mine was at 1, so it goes to 0 again. So I have 0 on my construction delay. So the illness that I got hit with is over. Okay. Naval balance. A6 assigned U.S. ships. So there's no difference in the naval balance, I don't believe. I better check that though and be sure. For naval balance. Naval balance. Okay, I'm going to have to find that. Yeah, the naval balance is the score. I'm a +1, so we're still -15 to +15. So no change in the naval balance. Okay, assign U.S. ships. So here we go again. I like patrolling here because if he sends anything in there, I want to make sure I'm protecting that. I don't have to escort. I'm going to lose a victory point if I don't move those guys, but I'm still waiting for the next turn, so I'm willing to do that. So now I can have some patrols. I think this time I want my Lady of the Lake. I'm going to see if I can get control of Sackett's Harbor here. It's a 2. What else have I got here? I had 2 different things going on, but I can run a bigger patrol here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to put these 5 here in Sackett's on patrol. On patrol. And I'm going to run a raid with the Pert and the Ontario. They're going to run a raid. I like King's Harbor, but maybe I should switch to York. I get a 1 victory point, and I can affect their supply again. Down here, the same as that. I get more victory points up there in Kingston, but I think I'm going to raid York this time. Why not, right? So we're going to run a raid there. I'm going to put a patrol. I'm going to put the Raven in South Lake. And I think I'll put I'm going to put the I don't have to have all those ships in the same. Make it 2 patrols here, and I can divvy that one up. 3 and a 1 there, and I'll put the Julia on patrol down here in York. Okay. So I need a patrol for these guys, a patrol for Raven, and a patrol for Julia right here. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so I've assigned my ships. AI troops available. Well, we already did that. This is, oh, wait a minute. 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so this would be, oh, I have American troops are available. Well, I got to rethink that now. Assign U.S. ships, AI troops available, naval construction, AI repairs. I want to do something different here. Yeah, because I have these guys and I don't want them, I don't want to take the negative points. I'm going to land them. I'm going to do a troop movement. So now I got to see what it takes for me to do that. Let me check that. Okay, to move troops, you have to have 4 close action points for each one of them. So we're going to have the Madison, which is my flagship, is going to be taking 1 set of troops. So he'll take a troop marker, and we're going to Niagara. And then I'm going to have the Governor Tompkins, Fair American, and Conquest. That equals 4 of my close action. They can take the other troop marker. They're also going down here. So we're going to mark both of them down here, coming to Niagara. So that'll be a land phase. We're going to mark them with a raid because there's not a troop movement, but it'll act like a raid when they get down there. And I'm going to move my patrols, one of my patrols out of South Lake. I'm going to put him over here too in Niagara to see if we can keep these guys off of here, off of our guys. I don't want them to get intercepted, but I want to protect my harbor from that. So here's what I've got going on. All right, now I'm satisfied. Okay. Adjust shuffle target cards. So I got to do my shuffle. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. And like last time, we're going to cut them. So we'll just cut them here. There we go. All right, so we're going to lay out 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dang it, 8. I got 3 of them down there in Niagara. Just what I was hoping wouldn't happen, happened. So let's see, we're going to have possible encounters. So I have 1 here. Do I have another one there? 2 there, 3 there, 4 there. Oh my goodness. All right, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3. That's 7 encounters. Nothing in the North Lake. Wow, that was bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's start marking them. We go left to right. So the first one's over here. So we'll put encounter 1 there. The second one is down here. We'll put that on our patrol. The next one is here. We'll put that on these guys. Next one is back up here. He gets an encounter. Nothing there. Back over here. 5 again. I think I'll go here. 6 has to go here. And then number 7 back over here. So there they are. Okay, so nothing up here in those guys anyway. All right, so mark them on the map. Do an encounter check. We draw an event card for a possible lake zone event. Place it here. So here we go. We start with encounter number 1, which is up here in Sackets. All right, so we have a Sackets adverse wind. If an encounter in this lake zone proceeds to a reaction segment, apply +2 die roll modifier to all human players' reaction check die rolls for forces that try to reinforce an encounter. Okay. Draw an event card for the possible lake zone event. Place it here, reveal it. Check top portion of the card. And we have an encounter. Okay. Well, the good news is the encounter is going to happen up there, and that's going to take care of everybody. Reveal? Well, maybe. So now we do British deployment. So now we replace this one with the encounter. We put the encounter here. All right, now we do reveal the target card that triggered the encounter. Oops. Oh, he got it. So there they come. All right, so this one we reveal. We move all deployable ships down here to these guys. Okay. Make an upgrade check for any deploying British. Okay, we have to check for the British upgrade. There's 2 ships, the Wolf and the Earl of Moira. So what we're going to do is roll. It's a random. So the red die will be the Wolf, blue die will be the Earl. And a 1, 2, 3, they stay the same. A 4, 5, 6, they get upgraded. Oh, they both stayed the same, so no upgrades on this one. Okay, so they'll go back in here at the level they're at. Okay. All right. Draw an event card. Place it here and reveal it. Here we go. This is for Lake Zone event check. Haze. In the first lake combat gunnery round 1 to occur in this lake zone, do not count either side's long gun strength. After that, the haze burns off and has no further effect. Check the blue area, and it is Americans got the weather gauge. Woohoo! Okay, so we are going to disengage. We're going to, okay, we are going to pass to end the segment, which means we then go to the reaction segment. Make reaction checks. Well, I don't have any possible reinforcements, and neither does he. So we draw an event card and reveal it for the starting weather gauge in this one. So we draw the event card. It's the Americans. Woo-hoo. Okay. So that means we're going to disengage. We're going to pass, and that ends the segment. All right, and that's going to end all of these encounters because they don't have any other ships left. Oops, this one was supposed to be with them. There's 5 of them. Yeah. Okay, so all encounters are over. This encounter becomes ended, and all of these come off the board because they don't have anybody else to engage us. Oh, that's a break. Big break. Okay. But all these cards stay there. We put all the event cards off to the side or under the deck. And they'll get reshuffled next time. Come on. The only thing with the plexiglass, sometimes it's hard to pick the cards up. All right, but they don't have any other ships, so I don't think that's going to really matter. We go to the ops phase, and we check to see if there's any operations. Reveal all remaining target cards, and there are no ships, so there's not going to be any. So we now go to There are no British ships left to deploy. Okay, so we skip that and we go to the breakout attacks. So all these cards come off of here. Take them in order just in case something would happen. And I'd go, what was that? All right. Put them back up there. Okay. If Kingston are really no blockades, there's going to be no breakouts. So I'm down here, no breakouts. Coastal action. Okay. Cutting out missions, I don't have any. Raids, don't have any. Yes, I do. I have a raid right here. For each raid, draw a coastal event, place it here. Okay, this is my raid. Separated ships. British force in this counter contains. Okay, nothing there. Apply it, then place raid marker on the coastline. So my raid went in. Okay. Army support missions. Launch troops. Placing my troops on the markers. So I have troops and troops right here for my land battle. Here we go. Fight a harbor encounter if defending home port. Okay, let's see. Results now score VPs merely. They may move Niagara forward. Let's see. VPs for Army victory. Okay. Fight a harbor encounter if defending home port. We're not. Draw for a coastal event. Place it here and apply it. Extra men. New contingent of able-bodied workers helps pick up the pace of the British shipbuilding program. Reduce the British construction delay level by 1. Their construction delay level is already 0. I guess it goes to -1, but it never goes past that. So they're going to be good. Oh, I think it never goes below 0, actually, is what I read. Okay, conduct the land battle with die roll and land battle table, player aid 7. Alright, here we go. This is our land battle table. Alright, procedure. Total all the attacker's troops markers launched at the coastal target. Total the long gun strength of all attacker ships in that lake zone with Army support missions. Then consult the appropriate column of the table and roll the dice for the land battle. So I have 2. My long gun strength is 2, 5, 8, 12. My long gun strength is 12. So I'm here 7 to 15 with troops markers are 2. So we roll, and we roll the red and the blue die, and the red die is the 10 digit. Okay, here we go. And we get 31. So we come down here and we see 27 to 54. Attacker success. Okay. U.S. success. Place a marker indicating the land battle's result on the targeted coastline. For effects of the results, see step F3 and summaries below. Move the Niagara front marker in step F3. British when attacking. U.S. success. So that's what it was. 1 space to the left. So we move this from the center, 1 space to the left. Okay. All right. Stolen supplies. All right. So that was successful. And F5 is just convoy supply tracks. We're not going to have anything there. Place marker with land battle result on coastal target. Okay, hang on there. I'll find my marker. So I have a blue success. There's a red for the British land battle. Land battle success. So it goes here. So I've had a land battle success. Okay. and are determined by 1d10 die roll on the land battle table. Chances of success increase with the total long gun strength. Okay, well, I think that's, I don't think that reads quite right. Results of a land battle can be an attacker, and are determined by 1d10 die roll on the land battle table. Chances of success, that's not right because you use the 2 dice because the numbers, as we showed. You follow this, it's going to be right because you'll have 30 and it tells me what it was. Okay, so I had success. All right. Okay. That means coastal action phase is over, and we go to destroyed, we tally and reset our phase. Lake zone control up here. They daggone got their ships in there, and I had those 5 steps in there to try to get it, so I did not get control of that zone. I was trying to. What about down here, though? I had 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got control of the Niagara Lake zone. All right, so let me get the marker for that. All right, so lake zone control. I put that in Niagara. It gives me a victory point. Move that up to 2. Okay. Land battle effects. No damage. The Niagara front, we moved that. Untransported troop markers, nope. Raid VPs. Okay. I got a raid VP of 1. Move that up 1. And I got a roll. And a 5 or 6 will adjust the supply lines. That's what I'm really hoping for. Yes! A 5. So, on a 5, U.S. convoy supply +1 puts me up to 5 now, and the British drops back down to 1, so it's back where it started at. Yes. Okay. Blockade checks. We don't have any blockades. Reset and turn advance. Full strength ships go back to their ports. So there's the British. My guys are coming back here. They all come back to secondary ships, secondary, and secondary here. And then these are my ships I sent out from port. And I got them. Okay, then I'll clean up all my markers here in a minute. No reduced ships, no full strength ships, isolated troops markers. Let's see, troops markers that were launched and or fought land battles are removed from play. Okay, so my guys are done now. Take them off the board. Newly available troops moved from convoy supply track to troops available. We did not check for the British troops. Turn 2. But he did not have any, so that comes off. Forgot to do that over here in the prep phase. Got to remember that. Thank goodness I didn't mess that up. Okay. Flip any convoy delay markers or any. Remove all target cards. Remove all event cards from the deck. Reshuffle. Remove attacker and defend attack. Advance the game. Okay, and I'm just checking over here. Ships in make ready, go to deployable. So my construction this time, move General Pike in step A5 from construction to make ready. So this time he's going to get to go. In my naval construction, he's going to get to go up to make ready. Nice. And I'm only 1 step away from getting my other one going too. Okay, so I had a little delay, but now he's going to go this next turn. Okay. All right. So I'll clean up the board and we'll be ready. Let's see. We're going to go to July 1st. And on July 1st, it says schedule U.S. convoys for July 1st or July 11th. All right. So that's going to be it. That finished June. Not too bad. Had a successful land battle. I haven't had any ships go to combat yet because I've been able to get the weather gauge every time. I'm liking that. And so, so far so good. And we'll see what happens next. I get my big ships, I'm going to start going after his. Then we can get some combat going maybe. I'd like to get into some naval battles with him if I can. All right. Hey, hope you're enjoying it. It's a new game. We're learning things. I like that I was able to get both my troops back to back and take them. I got one set of troops left. And who knows, I might try to go up here for a land battle on Kingston Harbor and see if I can steal some more supplies from him. That'd be my goal anyway. All right, we'll see what happens on the next turn with him. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, leave your comments. They're much appreciated. And give me that thumbs up. All right, see you on the next one.